Welcome to this explainer. Today, we are tracing the absolute powerhouse journey of Joseph Vijay Chandrasekhar. It's a completely fascinating story of growth. We're talking about someone taking themselves from the very bottom of the call sheet all the way to the precipice of massive regional political power. We're going to walk through his entire chronological timeline, moving from his early, really humble roots in film, straight through the crucible of those initial failures, and right up to the absolute legendary status he holds today. So you kind of have to ask yourself the ultimate question here. How exactly does a struggling kid facing some pretty intense early career failures transform into this iconic leader with millions of devoted followers? It's definitely not your typical overnight success story. And honestly, I think that's exactly what makes it so compelling. We're going to unpack the very specific steps of this rare transformation, looking at the mindset and just the relentless drive it takes to cross over from a pop culture phenomenon to a serious societal figure. All right, let's take it right back to the very beginning of the timeline. Born on June 22nd, 1974 down in Chennai, Joseph Vijay Chandrasekhar wasn't just some guy who accidentally stumbled into the spotlight later in life. Not at all. He actually grew up with this deep, innate passion for acting and dance. He was constantly drawn to the performing arts. Even while he was just a regular kid balancing his standard studies, his true energy and focus were already locked onto the stage and the camera. And, well, it makes total sense when you look at his foundation. He grew up in a household that was already deeply embedded in the film industry. His dad, S.A. Chandrasekhar, was an established film director, and his mom, Shobha Chandrasekhar, was a highly regarded singer and producer. So he was literally absorbing the mechanics, the language, and the sheer grit of cinema from his own living room. Stepping in front of the camera as a child artist in his father's films to learn the ropes firsthand, it was just the natural next step. If we zoom out a bit, his extraordinary journey really breaks down into four defining eras. First, his birth and early immersion in '74. Then, taking the leap to lead actor in 1992. After that, we see the absolute explosion of his superstar era across the '90s and 2000s. And finally, right up to the present day, we have his landscape-altering entry into the political arena. Keeping this chronological flow in mind really helps you grasp the sheer momentum of his career arc. Now here's where things get super interesting. When he made his lead actor debut in 1992 with the film Nalaya Derpu, he actually didn't see much success. It's crucial to understand that he faced very real struggles, harsh criticism, and some tough early rejections. But you guys, this is where the magic happens. Through relentless perseverance, and by intentionally taking on really diverse roles to prove his range, he essentially willed his massive superstar era into existence. Where a lot of other people might have just quit, he absolutely refused to give up. Because he stood his ground, we got an unbelievable string of monumental hits throughout the '90s and 2000s. I mean, titles like Puve Anakaga, Gilly, Thupaki, Mersal, Master, and Leo. These aren't just box office successes, they are genuine cultural milestones. Every single one of these films served as a stepping stone, cementing his unique identity and building this visceral, unparalleled connection with the audience that just goes way, way beyond your typical movie fandom. But why were these specific films so universally beloved? Well, it comes down to a perfectly balanced recipe I like to call the Thalapathy mix. It's this incredibly precise blend of action, emotion, dance, and pure mass entertainment. Every single element is vital. Think about it. It is exceptionally difficult for an actor to excel at all four simultaneously without coming off as inauthentic. But his ability to deliver on every single front is exactly what turned him from a popular regional actor into an absolute megastar. And hey, his enduring stardom rests on way more than just box office numbers. It really comes down to four core personal pillars. First, he's widely regarded as one of the absolute finest dancers in South India. Second, his unmatched style, his specific swag, and that unique dialogue delivery make him wildly popular, especially with the youth. Third, his fan following is literally global, numbering in the millions. And fourth, and this is absolutely crucial for his future, is his long-standing dedication to social service, quietly stepping up time and time again to help those in need. Because of that unmatched blend of entertainment, effortless style, and genuine on-the-ground social work, his fans affectionately gave him the title Thalapathy. In Tamil, this translates to commander or leader, and honestly, it is incredibly rare for an audience to organically assign such a weighty, serious title to an actor. It beautifully, almost poetically, foreshadows his real-world transition from a beloved cinematic hero into a literal leader for the people. leveraging all of that immense cultural capital, the deep-rooted popularity, and the trust he built through his social initiatives, he took the most logical next step in his journey. He officially stepped right from the silver screen into the political arena, founding his very own political party, Tamalaga Betri Kazagam. This is a massive, defining shift. He's actively transforming his influence from the realm of pop culture straight into the sphere of tangible public policy and governance. To report impartially on the party's own literature, their stated objective is extremely direct. Their primary goal is simply working for the youth and common people. When you look at his history, it's a direct extension of the exact same demographic he has been entertaining, inspiring, and physically helping through his grassroots social work for literally decades. He's essentially taking the connection he built in movie theaters and trying to apply it directly to civic leadership. So, if you really want to know how you build a megastar from the ground up, look at the specific sequence of his journey. It all relies on 5 core traits: continuous hard work, strict discipline in an industry that's frankly known for chaos, an immense reciprocal love for his fans, developing a totally unique style, and finally, and perhaps most importantly, given his painful struggles back in 1992, never, ever giving up. That is the exact blueprint of his rise. Now, why does all of this matter to us? The ultimate inspirational takeaway from this explainer is that enduring patience and unwavering, relentless hard work can truly overcome any early struggle. You can transform the most humble, ordinary beginnings into global superstardom and even into meaningful leadership. You just have to maintain strict discipline, stay completely true to your audience, and simply refuse to quit when things get tough. He has already successfully conquered the world of cinema, evolving through sheer grit from a struggling young actor into a universally beloved commander of the screen. So, as his chronological journey continues to unfold right in front of us in real time, what will this Thalapathy conquer next in the political arena? It's a fascinating question, and watching the next chapter of this living legend is absolutely going to be incredible to witness. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer.